Welcome again, bowling fans, to Sunset Bowl in Waukesha. Wrapping up the Road to Gold season with our 2016 Wisconsin Road to Gold Boys Championship. These young men battled 9 games today, 3 games each on short, medium, and long patterns, and the top 4 have made the TV show, battling it out for that $250 Visa gift card to our champion. Opening match coming up from Sunset Bowl after this short break. Make sure you stay tuned.
All right, Milwaukee Bowlers, we're looking to grow one of the best premier scratch leagues in the area, and we want you to come join us. So here at AMF Bolero, we're going to be expanding this league. We're going to be adding a bunch of money. If you have not heard about the Bolero Masters, it's Wednesday nights, starts in the fall, first Wednesday of September after Labor Day. We're going to add about $1,500 to the prize fund, plus we're going to take a discount online just to make sure that that prize fund is something that you guys want to bowl for. So you need to get your teams now, call us here at Bolero, and let us know if you're going to join us here this fall.
Barbiere's Italian Inn, featured in onmilwaukee.com's In Search of the Perfect Pizza in January 2013. Near Miller Park on Bluemont Road and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee. And we're here at Sunset Bowl in Waukesha, the opening match for the 2016 Wisconsin Road to Gold Boys Championship. I'm Phil Brylo here with you. Billy Hiber leading things off in our opening match against Jeremy Hodson. Hodson, our number 3 seed. Hibbert, our number 4 seed. And a big ringing 10-pin early for Hibbert. 4 men that made the show today. Got through 9 games of qualifying, 3 each on a short, medium, and long oil pattern, similar to what you saw in our girls' championship. And once again, the top seed on the show, in this case, Brent Boho, chose the oil pattern on the lanes for the championship. And as you can see how that polyester ball hooks away from that 10-pin, Boho chose the 35-foot short oil pattern. The World 10-Pin Bowling Association Los Angeles oil pattern. So 25 feet of dry out there, and you can see even with polyester, you don't get it on target, it will hook away. Hiber with the early open. Hodson, who you saw in our last show from Classic Lanes in Greenfield, took the boys title on that show, lost the challenge match to Megan Pozek. Pozek took the overall victory in that event. Our last regular season Road to Gold before these respective girls and boys championships. Our girls champion Savannah Giroux already in the books. The boys fighting it out for that title and the $250 Visa gift card that goes along with the championship of this Road to Gold event. Hodson only gets the 3 out of the 3-7. Bowlers are even after the first frame. Patterns and length that they used during qualifying, 35, 40, and 44 feet. And after those 9-game qualifying totals were all added up, these bowlers made the TV show. Competing for not just those gift cards, but the High 5 Gear gift certificates as well for the High 5 Gear 5th frame. We'll get in a little more detail of that as we go along this afternoon. Hodson once again coming up light, leaves just the 3-pin this time. And you can see Hodson using a urethane ball, so using a little bit of older technology. And you really have to be careful with urethane out, even with these short patterns, because there's a lot of oil in the front part of the lane. And even though that ball will react earlier than a reactive resin, it reacts in a very arcing fashion. Not a lot of recovery for missed shots to the outside, so for Hodson, they'll make the adjustment, play it a little squarer, a little more straight through the front part of the lane, try to get fully in the pocket. Hibbert in the pocket his first frame, but missed the 10-pin for his open. Very direct, and you saw that a lot with Savannah Giroux in our girls show. Very direct line around 7th, 8th board. There's even a little more dry outside if the bowlers want to try to bump it, but it's a very fine line you have to run. If you get a little excessive with your speed through the front part of the lane, with that heavy oil concentration, the first 20 feet of this 35-foot oil pattern, you can really get yourself into a lot of trouble with speed mistakes. Hibbert down at the line, right over 7th board. The straighter you can keep it and take the back ends out of play on this pattern, the better off you're going to be. Hibbert doing it with speed, Hodgson's doing it with that urethane bowling ball. And that piece of equipment that Hiber's using, it might be reactive resin, but it's a piece designed to not be overly aggressive between the cover stock and the core combination. The long, lanky 4 steps to the line for Hodson. Scrambles up the rack. Gets his first strike of the game on the board. Hibbert bowled well on this pattern, averaged just under 200. Hodson close behind. All 4 players that made the stepladder show were in the top 7 in average on the short pattern during competition earlier today, and a big double to bounce back and get this match to even between Hodson and Hibbert. Hodson's going to be a senior this year at Sun Prairie High School. They're going to be your defending high school state champions when those championships happen in March 2017. Hibbert on his way to St. Ambrose University in Davenport, Iowa. One of the B's at St. Ambrose. Many players you've seen on our telecast before, including our top seed today, Brent Boho, returning for his sophomore year. Kyle Anderson, Kyle Kroll, a couple of former St. Ambrose bowlers you've seen on many of our telecasts as well. It's a strong program they have down at St. Ambrose. And unfortunately for Hibbert, slides past the 2-pin. And a big open, and now a 16-pin lead for Hodson while he's sitting on the bench. But a little redemption possibility here for Hibbert. The high 5 gear 5th frame. $25 high 5 gear apparel gift certificate on the line if a bowler can strike in this frame. And you can see there for Hibbert that ball right over his second arrow, and because of the change in his target line and how aggressive the ball picks up the pattern at the end of the 35 feet of oil, that ball continued well left. And this combination of the 1, 3, 9, and 10, not easy at all. He switches to polyester, going to play a little bit of deflection here. Needs to hit the 1, 3 and then get the ball in between the 9 and 10, and he can't quite do it. And another open frame back-to-back for Hibbert on the board. And Hodson on the bench takes a 27-pin lead. And Hibbert's woes on TV continue. He does a great job getting to the TV shows, and sometimes he gets on the shows and it's a little bit of a struggle on the fresh condition for him. This lane's freshly conditioned. The bowlers received 15 minutes of practice prior to coming out on the lanes, and it was 15 minutes as a group of 4. So that way our number 2 seed Tyler Heth and number 1 seed Brent Boho get a bit of an idea of what they're going to be getting into on this pair. As Hodson gets a bad break on the light hit. Leaves the 10-pin. Should be relatively easy for him to pick up. Switches to that polyester ball right up the boards. No problem taking that 10-pin down, and the $25 high 5 gear gift certificate's safe for another game. Winner of this match gets another shot at it in the semifinal match against Tyler Heth. Hodson, the nice stroke to the line, right up the outside 5 boards, gets the 4 to kick the 7 out, and we're going to get to our first commercial break of the afternoon. Join me back here from Sunset Bowl in Waukesha for the rest of our opening match for this Wisconsin Road to Gold Boys Championship. Providing premier equipment sales and services to Wisconsin bowlers since 1973. Check out our Wall of Fame and our current specials at bpsmilwaukee.com. Billy Hibbert stepping up here in the 6th frame of our opening match from Sunset Bowl in Waukesha. The Wisconsin Road to Gold Boys Championship 2016 edition. Hibbert in a world of hurt right now with back-to-back opens in the 4th and 5th frame, and the same shot he had in frame number 5 repeats it in frame number 6, and you can see he knows it's all him on that shot. You get the timing and rhythm off a little bit of a pull left with no hold on this short 35-foot oil pattern, and get you into a big hurry, missing the head pin left. Switches the polyester ball for the spare, covers it up, but he needs to throw a lot of strikes in a hurry. 212, Hibbard's maximum score at this point in time. Whereas Hodgson's going at 2-0 pace just by filling strikes and spares. Hibbard 5 steps to the line. Much better on target line, but once again, you can see you get a little quick through the front part of the lane. Speed, probably a mile an hour more than when he's been hitting the pocket, and that ball simply just airmails the head pin. And a 1-2-4 combination left for Hibbard as he gets the cover. He'll try to stay close in this match, but 29 pins and 3 frames remaining. It's going to take some errant shots from Hibbard's opponent for him to have any chance to advance to that semifinal match. Hodson stepping up. His team had a solid showing at the initial United States High School Bowling Championships down in Florida this past July. He had a top 5 finish in the singles event. Sun Prairie's boys also had a top 5 finish in the team event as well. Be interesting to see how many teams that tournament draws next year when it moves to Nashville, Tennessee for its 2nd edition. Not a lot of teams from outside of the Southeast made the jaunt down to the Miami area for that initial United States High School Bowling Championships, but Sun Prairie's boys took the challenge and came back with some hardware. Quality cover there by Hodson. I want to thank our friend Joe Serrar from Bowlers Pro Shop. Joey's been a little busy with the beginning of the new bowling season, drilling out a lot of equipment for his customers, but he'll be back on the color commentary with us on our next couple of shows, coming to you from the Diamond Joe Casino, Cherry Lanes in Dubuque, Iowa, for the PBA Diamond Joe Midwest Regional and the PWBA Diamond Joe Midwest Regional. Our next 2 telecasts coming up in October, thanks to our friends at Time Warner Cable SportsChannel. So we'll be bringing you some of the best professional bowlers in the Midwest, both male and female, for those 2 tournaments here. It'll be good having Joey on the call once again. As Hodson just looking to stay clean and keep in the lead. He's a little bit of a weak 7-pin, no problem covering that spare up. The lead still 28 pins for Hodson, and now mandatory strike mode. Billy Hibbard put any pressure on Hodson. Hibbard's maximum right now 199 with the last 5 strikes. Needs to project it out, which he does, but he gets it that little bit quick again through the front part of the lane. No recovery with that faster ball speed, and the washout without a conversion here is going to end any hopes of Hibbard advancing to the semifinal match. And he'd be taking home the 4th place prize, a $50 Visa gift card. Hibbard also took home a $25 Visa gift card earlier today for having the high 3-game block on our medium oil pattern. So always good to give these young players a little bit of spending gift cards to get the school supplies they need to get back to school. And the ball change there for Hibbard. You can see that ball a little more pop on the back end, made that angular motion. It's a little easy to get in trouble with an angular motion on a short pattern, but he made it work on that shot and flushed all 10 pins into the back of the lane. But right now for Hodson, it's just a couple of spares, and he's going to advance to that semifinal match against Tyler Heth. And Hodson, after that loss in the challenge match to Megan Pozek at Classic Lanes Greenfield, he really wants to take home an overall title, and the only way to do it today is to get through top seed Brent Boho. All these young men on the show today making multiple appearances during our Road to Gold series this summer, and this show wrapping up our 9th season here on Time Warner Cable SportsChannel. Can't wait to start season number 10 with our shows from Dubuque, Iowa with the PBA and PWBA. Bringing you some high-intensity bowling on those next shows. Hodson just needs good count on this shot to lock up advancing to that semifinal. And that's 3 consecutive week 7s in a row. You can see the frustration building for Hodson a bit. He's going to need to solve that riddle because something tells me with another lefty on the pair with Tyler Heth, and Heth, that high-revving two-handed lefty. The lines will be changing and adjustments will need to be made a little quicker than normal for Hodson to stay in the pocket and kick out that 7-pin, and he just holds on to take that 7-pin down. It's 63 feet to the end of the lane, and I think the tail of the tape on that spare shot was 63 feet and a half inch. The way he knocked that 7-pin down. See what type of angle change Hodson tries to do on this last shot. See if he tries to slow it down just a bit to get the face a little earlier. He does that, no problem getting the 7 out that time. And the 195 game should build a bit of confidence for Hodson. As you see Tyler Heth shaking Hodson's hand. He's already raring to go for his semifinal match. And this will be the last time we'll see Billy Hibbert for a while, leaving for school. Lots of busy college tournament action right around the corner. That big college season starts the first weekend of October with the Midwest Collegiate Championships at AMF Bolero. Put that on your schedule if you're a fan of bowling. They fill that house with 72 men's and women's teams from across the country to try to take home that coveted season kickoff title. Semifinal match coming up next from Sunset Bowl in Waukesha. Jeremy Hodson against Tyler Heth. Join us after this short commercial break. Our opening match is in the books. Jeremy Hodson advances into the semifinal match with a 195-154 victory over Billy Hibbert. Hodson will be starting this semifinal match off on lane 3 here at Sunset Bowl. His opponent Tyler Heth, you see in the shirt colored coral in the background. Hodson along 4 steps to the line, the solid stroke through the shot, through the nose. Leaves himself the 4-7 combination. Hodson staying clean through the last 9 frames of his opening game to take that victory away from Hibbert. Now wants to make sure he starts this semifinal match off with a spare of his own. Takes the polyester ball out, gets them both with the ball. Spare on the board for Hodson. It's the second look we've had this summer. The Road to Gold series at Tyler Heth. Heth, the two-hander, out of Castle Lanes in Racine. And you can see Heth using urethane just like Hodson's doing. So as this match goes on, it can make for some interesting transition between these two players. As Heth puts a scrambler strike up on the board for his opening shot today. Heth threw it well on the medium pattern today. That was his big block to get into this semifinal match as the number 2 seed. Up the outside boards, and he gets a huge break on the crossover, taking the 8-pin out. Heth might be shaking his head on the way back about putting that double on the board, but right now, with a $250 Visa gift card on the line for the champion today, he's not going to give that one back anytime soon. Hodson, $299 game for his high game, $770 high series. And a big trip of the 6-pin. Keep himself within 10 pins early in this match. I want to thank our friends at Barbier's Italian Inn, Mark Dempsey and his staff at both locations by Miller Park on Blue Mountain Road in Milwaukee and on Milwaukee Avenue in South Milwaukee. Mark's been with us ever since we started here on Time Warner Cable Sports Channel, and we couldn't get all these prizes out to these young bowlers without the help of all of our sponsors, including Barbieres. And a bad break there for Hodson on the light hit. Head pin and 3-pin sliced to the sideboard. Both missed the 6 on the rebound. Watch that replay, and head pin around behind and can't take out the 6-pin. Should be no problem for Hodson on the spare. A little bit cross lane at it, no problem covering it up. And it'll keep him within 10 pins early in this semifinal match. Of course, waiting in the wings are top seed Brent Boho. Brent with a solid performance all day long, and Brent chose this 35-foot oil pattern as top seed. He was the top average holder during qualifying on this short pattern, and Boho wants to bowl for the title on it. Heth early 3-bagger parlays the crossover in the second with a perfect pocket strike in the third. 20 pins now, the lead for Tyler Heth. Bowling 200 for quite a while now. Used to be part of the Racine Park High School program, that strong team they've had down there for many years. And doesn't get the break he received in the second frame. In the fourth, the high flush crossover leaves the pocket 4-pin, or the crossover pocket 4-pin in this case. It's going to be interesting as these bowlers throw those urethane bowling balls. The cores on those bowling balls are made to not flare a lot, not put a fresh surface of the bowling ball onto the lane with each rotation. So you'll get some old school carry down with these bowling balls. They'll take some of the oil from the front part of the lane and start pushing it to the back part and take away some of the hook these bowlers normally see. And it's interesting as these bowlers have to adjust their transition for urethane bowling balls instead of reactive resin, where it's just simply, for these two bowlers, move right and throw it a little farther to the left. These bowlers need to square up as the carry down continues. Great shot there by Hodson. He's Dutch through his first 4 frames, alternating spares and strikes. Splits the 8 and the 9 beautifully. And now Hodson gets himself set up for the high 5 gear 5th frame with a $25 apparel gift certificate for high 5 gear on the line for both these bowlers in this frame. 4 slaps off the wall, takes out the 7-pin. Gorgeous shot by Hodson. Gets his deficit cut to single digits with that double on the board. Watch the replay here. The strong roll of that bowling ball. Not a lot of deflection. 4 does the job on the 7 to put the double on the board. And now Heth looking for his own strike in the 5th frame. He has no problem parting the 8 and the 9 pins. And there's another $25 high 5 gear apparel gift certificate. If you haven't checked out high5gear.com lately, they've got some great new stylings for the fall bowling season. They also have some specials out there. If you have a 4 or 5 person team, you can get a great set of team shirts at a very awesome price. Those shirts with the sublimated dye printing, they don't fade. They hold up for years. I've had some high 5 shirts now for 7 years now. I still wear while we're doing these tournaments and bowling tournaments of my own, and it's just like the day they came out of the package. Check them out at high5gear.com. One thing that Heth has to do here is check out making the 2-pin after going high. Eases it off the hand, no problem with the cover. First half of our semifinal in the books here from Sunset Bowl. We'll be back with the rest of this match. Jeremy Hodson might be down on the scoreboard right now, but he's in the driver's seat in this match. He's behind Tyler Heth by 9 pins. He has a chance to take the lead, working on a double, looking for 3 in a row. Here in the Road to Gold Championship at Sunset Bowl. And the 8-pin does not agree with the other 9 pins that fell over, standing in defiance of a great shot by Hodson. Watch the replay here. Ball just strong roll, slices through. Pin comes off the sideboard, just does not take that 8-pin out. Now you just have to keep the composure, make the spare, and start working on some more stringing of strikes. If you're Jeremy Hodson, and he covers that up successfully. 10 pins now, the deficit. Both bowlers working on 6th frame strikes. Here at the Road to Gold Boys Championship. I'm Phil Brawler here with you once again on the call. Last show of our 9th season here on Time Warner Cable SportsChannel. Looking forward to starting our 10th season with some Professional Bowling Association and Professional Women's Bowling Association action on our next couple of shows. And a great bounce back shot after the bad break for Hodson. Watch that ball scramble to 5 into the 10. No problem taking that out. Now it's up to Tyler Heth to respond in kind to maintain his 10-pin lead. Another crossover strike. That's the key sometimes on these tougher sport patterns. You make a small mistake, you pay the full price. You make a little bigger mistake, and you catch a lucky break. He trips out the 4 and the 7 on the high hit. Maintains a 10-pin lead, and Heth can extend it to 20. If he can throw a quality shot here. Frame number 8. Comes around the ball, a little light in the pocket. Almost got a break to roll the 3-pin out from behind. But the single pin spare. These bowlers know how important spares are in competition, especially single pins in these tight matches. You don't want to give your opponent any extra breaks that they don't deserve. See, no thumb of the ball, gets that hand around the side of it. And real tentative with the spare. Hooks in front of that 3-pin, and now the lead for Heth gone away. Now a 2-pin lead for Hodson with 2.5 frames remaining, and that was just a big mental error by Heth. You see, he's talking it over with some of his friends back there from Castle Lanes that came up to bowl this event with him as well. And he knows this could be an opening he might not be able to bounce back from. Hodson spinning those pins around. Big double in the 7th and 8th now to extend the lead out to 12 pins. And he's just easing the ball out of his hand, gets it into the strong roll at the back of the lane. And another shot with the 5 blown out to 10. And Hodson can almost put lockjaws on this match if he can strike here. In the 9th frame, looking for 3 in a row. Oh, right at target, and he really amped up on that one. Lucky to leave just the 2-7 baby split. Good thing with that urethane ball, the entry angle isn't excessive. Otherwise, we saw a lot of combinations today with, for lefties, along with that 2 and 7, you'd see the 6 or the 10 there with it for almost a sure open frame. Bowler of Hodson's caliber, I'd say, this is 80% chance of conversion on the baby split. Easy off the hand. Perfect way to make it. Gets both pins with the bowling ball. And the lead is still 10 pins for Jeremy Hodson. Both players here can max out at 227. It's up to Heth to strike in the 9th and put a couple on the board in the 10th to really put the pressure back on Hodson to see who advances to the championship match against Brent Boho. Solid off the line for Heth. Trips out the 6 and the 8. And you can't count him out of the match yet, ladies and gentlemen. Great shot there to still have the 227 possible on the board. You see that urethane ball bleeds a little more energy before it gets to the pocket than those reactive resins, and that helped him out with that slightly high flush pocket hit. Resin right there probably would have left the 6-8 combination. Great shot out of Heth's hand. Gets all 10 to go in a hurry. And now this match is tied in the 10th frame. Both bowlers maximum 227. Heth can strike here. It's going to force Hodson to double in the 10th frame, assuming he doesn't get a terrible count. Heth out of the hand. Needs the whole pocket. You could just tell that when he let it go, he gave it a little extra. The timing was a little off. Knows now that probably cost him the match because now Hodson will only need a mark with good count on both shots in the 10th frame to advance to the championship match. Loser of this match takes home a $75 Visa gift card. And all the school expenses each young bowlers have, you know they want to get every penny on those Visa gift cards they can. Get everything they need to look stylish in the classroom, or to get the tools they need to get those great grades. And it's amazing the number of bowlers we see all the time on local national honor societies, for college players. We get All-American academic lauds all the time, so it's always good to see these young bowlers not only succeeding on the lanes but in the classroom as well. And Hodson makes the shot he needed to make in the first ball of the 10th frame. Should have had the 10 go, but now he needs this spare and 8 pins to advance to the championship match. The spare is done, and 8 pins is never a sure thing. We'll need a quality shot. 7 would be a tie. If there is a tie at 213, the bowlers would have a single ball roll-off until the tie is broken. So we're going to see Hodson here take a little more time on the approach. Make sure it was the same shot he threw last time, because that would get him out of here a winner. 4 steps to the line, well on the pocket. Gets the 6th to fall nonetheless, and that gets Jeremy Hodson into our championship match against Brent Boho. And we'll be back with that from Sunset Bowl in Waukesha for the 2016 Road to Gold Boys Championship. Why do we have so many of our televised tournaments at Castle Lanes? Because we love being part of the wild side of bowling. If you're ready to get in touch with your wild side, go to castlelanes.com. Two matches in the books for Jeremy Hodson. 195-154 in the opening match over Billy Hibbard. Clutch 10th frame mark to beat Tyler Heth 216-213. And now for the championship, Hodson taking on Brent Boho. Boho, our top seed, chose this 35-foot oil pattern for the championship step ladder, and it's up to Boho to take home the title. And the $250 Visa gift card that goes with it, and a good toss to start with. Boho leaving the 10 pin, and it's never easy being that top seed, even when you do get to choose the oil pattern. All the changes that happen on the lanes when you're not on them. Only one right-hander, though, prior to Boho taking to the lanes with Billy Hibbard. Hodson and Heth being on the left side. So things shouldn't have transitioned too much for Boho as he was waiting in the wings. And once again, even the polyester bowling balls will hook away from 10 pins, given enough rotation. And the early open frame from Boho could let Hodson jump out to a big lead. Hodson, part of the great powerhouse out at Sun Prairie. Looking to finish strong in this event and take home the championship. And we've seen him have some bad breaks on light hits, and unfortunately the control of urethane sometimes with the entry angles that aren't as excessive as reactive resins sometimes leave the corners on these light hits. And once again we see Another light 10 pin for Hodson. Good news for Hodson last game was that the 10 pin conversion got him to the victory in the semifinal match. Can it lead him off to a victory here in the championship match at Sunset Bowl? I'm Phil Breiler here with you once again. I want to thank all of our sponsors this season for all their support. We're getting televised bowling on for the 9th season in a row on Time Warner Cable SportsChannel. Looking forward to starting our 10th season with our next show coming to you from the Diamond Joe Casino in Dubuque, Iowa, with great players from the PBA and PWBA tours coming to you on Time Warner Cable SportsChannel. And Hodson just kind of horsed that one through the front part of the lane. You can see right there he's not happy with the ball speed. Ball never has a chance to come up fully to the pocket. And the 3, 6, and 9, not an easy spare combination, especially when using urethane. That ball rolls early and kind of rolls out towards the end. You need the continuation through the 3 and the 9. And he overhooks the ball at the 3 pin, hooks past the 9, and now an open frame on the board for Hodson. A chance for Boho to keep the lead by a couple of sticks here if he can put a mark up on the board here in the second frame. See Boho using the same urethane ball type that Hodson is using. They're both looking for control on the back end of the lane. They both can maintain the ball speed needed to not have that urethane ball roll out at the pocket. And almost a mirror image of Hodson's shot on lane 4 here at Sunset Bowl, as the right-handed Boho leaves the 7 pin on the light hit. 4 pin, 2 pin, and head pin, none of them do the job on the 7. And now it's just a matter of getting refocused and getting the spare down and maintaining a couple pin lead early in this match, which Boho does. Boho has 7 300 games under his belt, high series of 833. And he's got a couple tournament wins under his belt already this season with us here on television. Loves watching Major League Soccer when he's not out on the lanes competing, which is very rare. Brent's always looking for something to bowl, even when he's away at college. It's an off weekend for the college team. You usually find Brent bowling a tournament somewhere nearby as high fives with his college friends, Freddie Peterson, Nick Hagen, staying to cheer him on. So Kristen Rude in the background, two-handed female player. I can see her making one of our TV shows very soon. All the practice and hard work she's putting in on the lanes, and Hodson answers back with a strike of his own to keep the deficit at 3 pins. And you see the different type of roll that urethane has when it gets near the pocket as compared to reactive resin. Not as angular. Has to just keep the speed on the ball to keep the deflection at a minimum with urethane. And a huge break there to just leave the 6 pin on a high hit. And you can tell by that reaction, even before that ball got near the arrows for Hodson, he knew a little bit of an errant shot was not going to hit the pocket. However, a strike here for Hodson keeps him close in the match, and with $125 difference on that Visa gift card between first and second place with this match. $250 for first, $125 for second. These bowlers are fighting hard for every pin they can get. I want to thank our friends Rex and Sandy Byron, Eileen's bowling buddy. Got my bowling buddy out, getting ready for the fall season, swinging it in the privacy of my own home to keep that arm swing grooved, getting ready to throw the bowling ball again after spending a lot of time this summer out with the PBA extra frame service. And Boho, you can see right there, not happy at release. A little quick through the front part of the lane. The urethane ball can't respond on the back half of the lane as much as a resin. Leaves that 2, 4, 8, and 10. And see if Boho goes for the count here, which would be the prudent thing to do in this tight of a match. Make sure you get 3. He's going to try to get them all. He only got 2 on the count. With working on that strike, you lose that extra 1 pin equals 2, and instead of having 57 in the fourth, only down by 9, gives Hodson the 11 pin lead with the open frame, and you hate to look back later on. It cost Boho in his match against Hodson at Classic Lanes in Greenfield. Boho went for a washout conversion, only got 2 on the spare instead of 3, and Boho lost by a couple of pins. He's hoping to not repeat that. And with a strike in the high 5 gear 5th frame, the $25 apparel certificate for high 5 gear, Brent Boho can get himself another stylish high 5 gear jersey, or be on his way towards. Custom designs, pretty much whatever you would want on a jersey, they can put it on there, and Hodson matches the high 5 gear strike that Boho put on the board. 11 pins remaining in the lead for Hodson. And this has been the lane that Hodson's really had issues with all day. He makes that slight pull to the right, and it just wants to instantly go through the nose on the lane. Let's see what he can do here to make a quality shot. Came off his fingers a little quick, and with that urethane roll, not enough to get all the way back up to the pocket with quick off the fingers, leaving just the 3 pin. So a single pin spare going into the break. Not a bad place to be, especially with an 11 pin lead, and your opponent only working on a single strike. Hodson's going to feel good going into this commercial break if he gets this easy spare conversion, which he hooks into it and does. Half the game remaining here. Who will come out on top here at Sunset Bowl in Waukesha? You have to join us after the break to find out. $250 Visa gift card for the champion today here at Sunset Bowl in Waukesha for the Wisconsin Road to Gold Boys Championship. I'm Phil Brylow here with you. Brent Boho working on a strike. If he can get a double on the board here, in frame number 6, he'll cut Hodson's lead down to a single pin. Slide to the line. And you can see the difference on that shot for Boho. Slightly slowed it down, but he also got it a little farther to the right, let the ball do the work, and instead of leaving the 2-4-8-10 like he did in frame number 4, rattles all the pins around for a strike, puts a double on the board, and now Boho can take the lead in the match for the first time. If he can get his string out to 3 in a row here in frame number 7. Good pitch at the line. 10 back, splits the 8 and 9, and he is fired up on that shot. And you can see Brent running that shot out, the aggressive high 5 to Nick Hagen at the back of the lane, and he knows how important every shot is from here on out now that he is in the lead. Hodson stepping up here in the 7th frame, looking on a spare. Oh, and just dead right at release. Lucky to leave just the 8 pin. I think he thought it was going to be worse than the actual result of the shot. He was thinking he was going high through the nose. Instead, it sits in the pocket. Could have hit a little of the carry down that he and Tyler Heth created in that semifinal match. And that could be something he could use in the last attempt on that lane. And watch out. Oh my. The mental mistake on the 8 pin. Misses it to the left, and now the gap out to 21 pins for Boho, and Boho working on a double. This could almost be a shutout unless Hodson can put up strikes the rest of the way out. 204 is Hodson's maximum. And a good shot out of the hand. Trips out the 6 and the 8, and It's usually what happens. You make the mental mistake, you beat yourself up a little bit, you get a little better focus on your next strike shot, and you put 10 back. Hodson not out of the match yet, but it's going to take a little bit of help from Brent Boho for Hodson to have any chance here. Boho's maximum right now, 235. 3 strikes in a row after his 4th frame open, stepping up in the 8th frame, and just saws the rack in half. And you can see the focus on Boho's face coming back, knows how close he is to taking home this title. And the $250 Visa gift card that goes with it. The strike here in the 9th frame, you can see Brent's mom, Kim, standing behind Nick Hagen, cheering your son on. Looks good out of the hand for Brent. 5 in a row on the board. And that, ladies and gentlemen, almost surely locks up this title for Jeremy Hodson. Hodson, if he strikes out 204. Boho, if Hodson were to strike out, would just need any mark in the 10th to win. Anything short of 5 strikes in a row here for Hodson, and he's going home with 2nd place for the Visa gift card. Still a little glimmer of hope for Hodson, even though he didn't look happy with the release on that shot. Gets all 10 to go back, and now is a need for 3 in the 10th. Anything less than that, and Boho can just get up and either need good count or nothing at all to take home the title. That's right at target, and there go the title hopes for Jeremy Hodson. He put up a heck of a fight climbing the ladder this afternoon, but that split is going to send him home with that $125 Visa gift card to get ready for the school year out in Sun Prairie. And you have to commend the young man's efforts all day, battling on the lanes on the number 4 seed, and almost found enough to take home the title. But it's going to be Brent Boho's day out here at Sunset Bowl. Time for the victory throws. Boho, you know he wants to finish this out with an 8-bagger. He wants to get all 3 in the 10th. Steps up, quality shot out of the hand. Gets the scramble to take out the 7, and Boho will take home the 2016 Wisconsin Road to Gold Boys Championship. And that takes home the $250 Visa gift card, plus that $25 High Five Gear gift certificate. Use that towards ordering another jersey from High Five Gear. You see both these bowlers sporting gear they wore at the Junior Gold Championships this past July in Indianapolis, and almost gets the rollout on the 4-pin. Little wry smile from Brent on the way back to polish off the spare ball, and he'll be heading back to St. Ambrose, getting ready for that school year. $250 Visa gift card in the back pocket. That should buy about 1 book at the way prices seem to be for college books nowadays. Covers up the spare. $224, $169. Brent Boho is your winner, and I'll be back from Sunset Bowl to wrap up this Wisconsin Road to Gold Championship after this short break. Boys Championship match was close through 7 frames until Jeremy Hodson missed an 8-pin that gave Brent Boho the opening he needed. Brent closes with strikes from the 5th through 10th frames to take home the 2016 Wisconsin Road to Gold Boys Championship, and that $250 Visa gift card goes with the title. I'm Phil Bradlow. Parents, take the kids bowling. They will have fun for life. And join us on our next show from Dubuque, the PBA Midwest Diamond Joe Open from Cherry Lane. Bye.